people across the state of Nebraska. We'll talk about her in a moment. Kinley Ford, regardless of class, they're talking about this freshman being somebody that you'll know all about by the time she is a senior. So it's going to be pretty cool to take a look. And we'll go ahead and take a look at those key players right here, starting with this Alma Thayer Central matchup. We mentioned Kinley Ford here for Alma, just a freshman, and there she is. She can drive it, she can shoot it. You can take a look at a lot of the other kids that played in that first game and the Schaefer girls and the way that they move it along. But this is a girl that has been all over the place already, and Alma is very happy to have her.
Yeah, as you said, just a freshman, averaging over 21 points, almost 5 assists, and over 6 steals a game. So not just a scorer, but a well-rounded player. Don't forget another one, Cameron Scott, a junior, averaging 14 a game for Alma.
And then taking a look at Thayer Central, there's Paige Teachin, the 5'6" junior, and kind of a similar type of ball player for Thayer Central here.
Yeah, Paige averaging 16 points a game, put up a career-high 34 here a couple weeks ago against Valley Heights, Kansas, so she can fill it up if she gets going also.
So those are our players to watch, but so much talent here at the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase. We'll come back and tell you a little bit more about our teams right after this on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Memorial Community Hospital and Health System. Proudly supports the Fort Calhoun Pioneers. We're on your team providing quality care close to home. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
Beatrice Community Hospital is proud to serve Beatrice and the surrounding area for over 100 years. We provide quality care with small-town hospitality. Our services include family medicine, OBGYNs, robotic surgery, diagnostic imaging, and more. We're excited to grow our services, including a new medical clinic building in the community of Wymore. We're proud to be a top 20 rural hospital. And thank you for trusting us to care for you and your family. Beatrice Community Hospital. Incredible care. Incredibly close.
And let's take a look at these two schools and where they are from. The Alma Cardinals coming in. The Cardinals coming out of the RPAC conference with that record of 10-1. And then for Thayer Central, and one of the cool things that we're going to be talking about throughout this is the alumni player, and you're going to recognize some of the names here, but from Thayer Central, they are the Titans, and coming in the Mid-Nebraska Activities Conference also with a record of 10-1 on the season. And so that's a look at the schools that will be playing in today's basketball game as we get ready to take a look at the starting lineups. Brought to you by Medica. With the Medica Health Plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for with Medica. Here on News Channel Nebraska Television, Thayer Central will be the home team today. They're going to be wearing the white uniforms with the black numerals, and then you've got the red uniforms with the white lettering here for the Alma Cardinals, and they will be the visiting team on the scoreboard here today. And a little special introduction at Kearney High as we get ready for today's starting lineups. We've got all the glitz and glamour that goes along with this Class A facility, and so a little extra fun for the basketball players here. As they get ready for the starting lineups, let's take a quick break, and we'll bring you the starters next.
Behind every switch you flip, innovation is at work. NPPD is using advanced technology to generate and deliver the reliable energy you have come to expect. Like AI-driven platforms to optimize energy generation, drones for infrastructure inspection, advanced metering for faster outage detection, and helping advance carbon capture and sequestration technologies. It's not just electricity we are delivering, it's innovation. Powering the state, empowering your life. Nebraska Public Power District.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Hebron Central Market, your locally owned grocery store in Hebron, a proud supporter of the Titans. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
When you have the inventory people want and a team that understands what you need.
It's not just about the shoe. It's about your fit.
What sets Fleet Feet aside from everything else that we've experienced is my girls being runners. They have very different needs. And so that technology with the scanning and the personal touches is just unmatched. I met Lori almost 16 years ago, and when I saw Lori open this, I knew there was no other place that I wanted to go to have someone help me with my footwear and everything else involved with running. Fleet Feet doesn't just fit your shoes, they fit your life.
Fleet Feet Lincoln. Find your fit today.
Time now to take a look at the starting lineups. First off, for the Cardinals of Alma, number 1 is a 5'7" junior in Cameron Scott. Number 3, the 5'4" freshman in Kinley Ford. Number 10, 5'8" senior is Kirsten Moore. Number 12, 5'7" junior is Camry Neal. And number 21, 5'7" sophomore is Vaden Epp. The head coach is Amanda Davis, assisted by Brendan Johnson and Mindy Feynman. Watch out for Johnson. He can hit a golf ball as well. The Alma Cardinals come in with a record of 10-1 on the season. Their only loss coming to C1 Holdridge right before Christmas, 57-48. That is the starting lineup for the Cardinals of Alma. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Titans of Thayer Central. They'll go with number 2, a 5'6" junior in Addison Marsh. Number 3, 5'6" junior, Olivia Weedle. Number 4, 5'6" junior is Paige Teachin. Number 5, 6' sophomore is Leah Havel. And number 20, 6'1" senior is Piper Havel. And yes, all of these gals are sisters. They've got 3 sets of them. There's twins on this team as well, so a lot of family connections, and one of the reasons Thayer Central has been so good, able to play together with this crew growing up. The head coach is Aaron Kowalski, assisted by Tyler Teachin and Taylor Hansen. Thayer Central 10-1. Their only loss is to C1 number 1 Milford, and Milford had their first loss of the year Tuesday night to Malcolm. And so Milford going to be here a little bit later on in the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase as well. And those are the starting lineups brought to you by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. And can one of these teams get out of the gate quickly? We still got some guards that want to do that, Todd.
Yeah, both teams here coming in. Looking forward to this one. A great matchup with a couple of 10-win state-rated teams. Both squads with a lot of balance, some star firepower. So a lot of storylines here potentially as we get started.
Looks like it's Halloween right there, not just because of the faces that were on the screen. Our pregame brought to you by Custom Sports. From screen-printed T-shirts to jerseys, they have what your team needs to look great. Check them out at CustomSportsCO.com. It is Alma, it is Thayer Central, and we are ready for game number 2 of the day right here on NCN. We'll tip it off in 30.
This broadcast.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during their early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for high-quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
And it's time for basketball on News Channel Nebraska Television. Doug Duda-Tagatula, our producer-engineer Danny Alvarado, Jake Curl, Wes Andersaka, and Kobe Emel are the officials for our second game today. And Thayer Central is going to win the opening tip to get things underway. Alma's going to come out in a man-to-man defense. And we'll see how Thayer Central handles that early on and how physical maybe this basketball game will end up being. Three-pointer to start the ball game, and it's going to be good for Paige Teachin. So we emphasized her in the pregame. She comes out, she takes the first shot, and she hits the first bucket of the basketball game. And Thayer Central on top in this one, 3-0. Back cut, try to get the ball into the hands of Ford. And how hard and how much will they try to get the ball to her right away and get her settled in to start this basketball game will be interesting for what we see from Alma. Titans knock it away. Teachin with the steal. Paige brings it up the floor, trying to beat everybody back, and will draw the foul. So 2 free throws coming up here for Teachin, and Thayer Central getting the better of the first minute of this basketball game as the foul's called on Cameron Scott.
Thayer Central with some nice size here with a 6'1", 6-footer in Leah Havel and Piper Havel.
Free throw good. Again, the crowd continues to roll in here. Alma about an hour south from here. Thayer Central just a little bit farther, but also in a south sort of east Nebraska as Paige Teachin hits them both. And it's a 5-0 lead here for Thayer Central. Alma doesn't want to fall into the same trap that Mullen did and dig themselves an early hole. And it's already 5-0. Trying to get the ball inside, kick the ball out top, fake the three, drive on the right side of the key. Titans pack it in. Good defense on these first two possessions. So Ford crossover, three-pointer, well off the mark. But an offensive rebound, high off the glass, will not go from Neal. And the rebound brought down by Marsh. And Thayer Central in danger of doing the same thing that we saw Arapahoe do. Score on their first three possessions. Teachin just gets right after it, kind of forces that one. Scoop shot no good. And the rebound brought down by Neal again. And Alma will push it up on the right side, and a little body check might be on Teachin. Didn't have to worry about that from our so-called star players in the first game, foul trouble. So there is the foul on Page. And Alma will get the ball underneath their own hoop. And there's a beautiful cut and the layup for Camry Neal, and Alma is on the board. Drawn up in practice every day, and well done to get the Cardinals on the board. Off the screen, top of the key three. In and out, no good by Marsh. Nobody can get to the ball, and out of bounds it goes.
Nice set that time by Thayer Central to get a nice open look at the top for three.
Alma wasting no time, tried to get it underneath the Neal again, but the bounce pass kind of skipped. And Alma with their second turnover of the basketball game. So Thayer early on looks like they want to do a lot of transition. Alma looks like they want to get that ball inside despite their leading scorer being Ford from the guard position. Thayer Central puts it into the hands here of Olivia Weedle. Wide open down low was Havel. They didn't see her, and the ball stolen away. And there's Ford over the front of their end for the score. So Kearney with the steal. First turnover here for the Titans. And it's 5-4. Thayer Central got the first two buckets. And right back with the next two is going to be Alma. And they'll get another steal. Back-to-back turnovers here for Thayer Central. Ford, stutter dribble right side, steps into the double team, kicks it off. Short jumper by Neal, no good. Rebound brought down by Piper Havel. So Thayer Central, 3 minutes into the ball game and a 1-point lead. Another cool thing about this is people that don't get to see you play 3-4 hours away, and they're only 30 minutes away from Kearney. They're going to come in and watch you play here today, and maybe the only opportunity to do that. And in the paint, the ball knocked out of the hands of Leah Havel. 3 straight turnovers for Thayer Central, but giving it right back is going to be Alma. So 3 turnovers for each team early on. The Titans will go to the bench, bring in Ava Brueggemann.
Both teams feeling each other out a little bit, as you often see in these games, and kind of what you'd expect from a couple of 10-win teams like Thayer Central and Alma here.
So Thayer Central trying to avoid a third straight turnover down the floor here, make it 4 straight. Off the dribble, drive, off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound, maybe got away with 1 foul, but not the second one, and this time it's going to count. Leah Havel getting a couple of offensive boards, and Kinley Ford committing the foul, trying to go for the block shot here.
Thayer Central brings some size to the court, as we mentioned earlier, with a couple of 6-footers, and Alma with not a lot of size and big inside presence. That's an interesting matchup we'll look at.
And the free throw on the way and good. So Havel completes the 3-point play, and Thayer Central out to an 8-4 advantage here over the Cardinals of Alma. For Thayer, they come in averaging just over 57 points per basketball game, while Alma comes in averaging 61. So if you think girls basketball is just 32-30, no, that's not the case. Drive in, shot won't fall for Scott, and the rebound comes down here to the Titans and put it back in the hands of Teachin as Alma comes back out, puts a little pressure on the man-to-man. Midway through the first quarter, team should have settled in now by now. And driving in and getting bailed out on the foul, Piper Havel. She's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Foul will be called on Neal.
You mentioned the offense. this Alma team's only given up 22 points a game defensively this year. 6 times they've held teams under 20 points this season.
That's insane, right? The free throw is up and it is in. Switch on the foul there. It's on Epp. 21 instead of 12. And the second free throw on the way, and it's a little strong, no good, but a long rebound, offensive rebound by Leah. And Leah Havel will get the basketball here. And to be fair, I think Thayer Central's probably been tested a little bit more than Alma has in their schedule, which may go to some of those numbers that you just talked about. That's why Alma really wants to come in here and prove themselves this morning against this Thayer Central team. Nice backside help to knock it out of bounds by Epp. Instant replay brought to you by Beatrice Community Hospital. Incredible care, incredibly close. Closer to Hebron than it is to Alma, of course, but Thayer inside. Boy, already active is Neal. Shot no good. Players to the ground, and the rebound brought down by Kinley Ford. Ford pushes it up the floor, one-on-one. She's guarded here by Olivia Weedle. That's a big ask there defensively from Weedle, and the jumper good. Cameron Scott knocks it down to make it 9-6.
Nice looking jumper there from Cameron Scott.
Saw some good mid-range jumpers earlier, and Teachin nowhere to go. Well defended, just throws one up. It's no good. Neal wiping the boards clean. Pull up three in transition. Scott can't get that one to go. Ball deflected into the hands of Brueggemann. On the run out, she'll go to Weedle. Weedle didn't have numbers. Gives it off to Teachin. Decided to hold it up and get their offense set. Thayer Central 9-6, 2:35 to go here. First quarter, this is the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase from Kearney High on News Channel Nebraska Television. Little contact down low, and it's going to go off of the Titans. Good job by Kirsten Moore. Our first quarter on NCN is brought to you by John Henry's, our family, serving yours. And we are going to get a quick 30-second timeout on the floor called by Thayer Central. With 2:27 to go in the first, the Titans lead it 9-6 on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy. NCN Sports is brought to you by Buffalo County Community Partners, because your life matters and help is always here. And by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com.
Welcome back to Kearney High School. 2:27 to go here in the first quarter. Thayer Central has jumped out to a 9-6 lead, had the first 5 points of the contest, and now Alma settling in with Kinley Ford to bring the ball across the timeline, averaging 21 points a game, looking for the screen and roll. Well defended. Man, look at Weedle trying to fight through everything. Ford got the three away, but a hand in her face. It's no good. And the rebound brought down by Teachin. Sometimes you overlook who's defending the so-called best player on the team. I want to keep an eye on Weedle, see how she's doing. She really fought through some screens that time. Now Teachin up top. She's going to take the crossover three. It's going to come up short, no good. Another rebound. Camry Neal, maybe she just has Velcro on her hands, but she's already got 4 boards here in the first quarter. Ford crossover to the baseline. Oh, Weedle bumped her. Just enough to throw her off, and that's going to be a personal foul. Number 1 on Olivia Weedle. Good crossover, and just enough to throw her off track. If Ford stays on track, they're probably not going to make that call, but when you bump her behind the backboard, even though it wasn't a lot of contact, got to call it. So Alma inbound. Ford sizes it up. Three-pointer won't go. 0 for 4 from downtown early on for Alma. And the rebound comes down to Weedle. So we're still at 9-6 here, as things have slowed down from the first 3 minutes. Teachin on the right side. Ford guarding her. So, Todd, that's another thing. She's expected to be your leading scorer, but now she is going to guard the number 1 player for Thayer Central. And that's not happening vice versa, so that might make a difference here. A little miscommunication, ball goes out.
It's a great matchup to watch. A lot of times you'll see schools and teams kind of avoid those matchups, top player guarding top player to avoid foul trouble for whatever reason. But tonight, head-to-head, those two going at it early on, so that's a fun matchup to watch.
Besides Ford for Alma at 21 points a game, Scott's getting you 14. And then Epneal and Moore are all right there at 6 points a game. After teaching Brueggemann, who comes off the bench, 11.5 points. Havel about 8 points per game. Here's the three, top of the key, no good. Again, kind of what we saw from Mullen. Couldn't get anything going early on. Rebound brought down by Weedle. Up ahead, they'll find Marsh. Marsh kicks it back to Brueggemann. And now Thayer Central, who looked to make a move, unable to, and will have the basketball set up in the half court. And so they get it in the hands of Teachin. Allstater gets it back up top, Marsh. Havel inside, knocked away. 5 turnovers now for Thayer Central. Ford gives it off, and the layup by Scott is good. And you can tell these two know a little bit about each other. And that'll make it 9-8, a 1-point ball game.
Textbook fast break there. Give it up for the easy one.
Last night had an opportunity to do Kearney High, Lincoln High girls, where both of the leading scorers were freshmen. And we've already seen that today here, especially with Ford freshmen. A lot of that, you have to be a good teammate to go along with that. As we see the last shot attempt here for the Titans. Going to have to throw it up. Teachin spins. Scoop shot no good. And that is the end of the first quarter of play. So a little bit lower scoring between two offensive powerhouses in their first 11 games. It is Thayer Central 9 and Alma 8. This is the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase on News Channel Nebraska.
Hey, it's me, one of those students on the waiting list for a teammate's mentor. I've heard teammates is so fun and awesome. You get to talk, laugh, play games, and hang out with a positive, caring adult once a week at school. Teammates help students believe in themselves, and 97% of mentees are proud to be a part of it. I'd love to be one of those mentees, but we need more mentors. So if you got an hour a week to be someone a student like me can count on, go to teammates.org today. Join the team. Be a mentor.
Doug Duda, Todd Gatula back with you here at Kearney High School. Again, thanks to Derek Rusher and Kelly Cooksley, a big part of all the volunteers that are here as well for the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase. And Alma will get the ball to start the second quarter, trailing by 1. Ford double team, kicks it back up top for Camry Neal. Ford kicks it back right-hand corner. How about a three-pointer for Epp? It won't go. Still haven't made one all the way into the back court. And are they going to call it over and back? Yeah, they are. They're going to say that Kinley Ford had possession just before she got into the backcourt. But one of those hustle plays, not going to worry too much about that.
Yeah, I got caught in no man's land a little bit. Not much you can do in that situation.
So Thayer Central on top, drives in. Weedle, blocked from behind and out of bounds by Cameron Scott. 5 points for Paige Teachin, the first 5 of the game for Thayer Central. Cameron Scott has 4 for Alma. 5 turnovers for the Titans, 3 for the Cardinals. 10 boards for Thayer compared to 6 for Alma. And a 1-point lead. Three-pointer, top of the key. Marsh knocks it down. Her first bucket of the ball game. And that makes it a 12-8 contest here for Thayer Central. Thayer Central has put together a couple of good seasons here. We know what they've done in other girls' sports on a give and go, but a little bobble and a walk called there on Neal. Turnover number 4 for Alma. Thayer Central has not been to state basketball as a consolidated school. Hebron was last there in 1988, so this is a team that's hungry to get to the state tournament and make some noise. Give and go, down low, running into the defender, and still scoring through contact is Piper Havel. And Thayer Central with the first 2 buckets here of the second quarter of play. When you take a look at the Cardinals of Alma, they made it to state last year for the first time in school history, beat Superior in the first round, then lost to Pender, and took 4th against Cedar Catholic. Shot here, no good. Offensive rebound by Moore, tries to create some space. We're going to get a blocking foul called on Thayer Central. Titan fans didn't like that call. Leah Havel, her first.
Nice aggressive move by Tirsa Moore there to get to the rack.
And again, those so-called role players, and when I say that, I'm talking about your maybe fourth and fifth scorers out there who can have a bigger game today. Which team can have one of your players really provide a spark? That usually is the difference in these key games. I talk about it at tournament time because you're going to see Ford shoot the three. She's going to get hers, just not on that one. And the rebound brought down by Piper Havel. Alma is 0 of 7 from three-point land. Going for the steal. Ford couldn't quite get it. Weedle back up top. Three-pointer. Marsh looking for her second in a row. No good. Another rebound grab by Neal. That's her fifth of the ball game. But Alma hasn't been able to score here in the first 2 minutes, and they still haven't on another missed three. Ball's going to be swatted out of bounds, and it'll stay with Alma.
Good effort. Vade Knepp that time getting on the floor to try to keep that alive.
In game one this morning, Arapahoe was a 69-49 winner over Mullen. And our next game that'll be coming up here on NCN will be Cross County and Oakland Craig. Drive to the baseline is going to be Scott. Has to give it off. Short jumper, no. Neal got it back and just throws it towards the rim. She'll be headed to the line. These will be the first free throws of the morning for Alma. Foul going to be called on Thayer Central's Ava Brueggemann. That'll be her first. And 2 free throws now coming up. And the first one is good for Camry Neal. Second quarter action from the girls basketball showcase on NCN is brought to you by O Street Carpet. See Steve Carper and the crew at O Street Carpet. Second free throw also good. So the first 2 points of the quarter here for Alma. 14-10, Thayer Central leading it by 4. Looking for more. And since those first 2 buckets, Todd, Paige Teaton has kind of been held in check here a little bit. She's had a couple shots, but she hadn't scored in the last 9 minutes because she scored the first 2 of the ball game. Ball knocked away and another steal. Camry Neal up ahead looking for some help with Epp. Kicks it back to the free throw line. Open jumper will not go. And Piper Havel there with another rebound. Alma's had some opportunities. They just haven't cashed in, especially on some of these turnovers.
Yeah, staying aggressive is the key, but boy, they're having trouble knocking shots down right now.
Alma stays in the man-to-man. Titans trying to spread the floor a little bit more here, maybe get some one-on-one action. There's Paige on the left wing. Ford looks right into those eyes, kicks it up for a long-range three, and it will not fall. We got to fight for the loose ball, and the foul looks like going to be called here on Thayer. That's going to go against Leah Havel. That'll be her second. As players ending up on the ground. Good work down there again by Moore. So up the floor with it will be Scott. Scott crosses over, kicks the ball back out top as his second quarter moving right along. Epp thinking about it. They'll let her have it. She decides to drive baseline. Reverse layup is good. Vade Knepp with her first bucket of the ball game cuts the lead to 2 here. That's a highlight. One of them we'll probably be seeing at halftime. Brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Nice baseline drive for the easy reverse layup.
Thayer Central stuck on 14. Reaching, picks her dribble up, has to get rid of it. So Alma's defense right now has kind of been the turning point in the game, and Thayer Central throws it away. Let's see if we get a timeout here from Coach Kowalski. Yes, we will. This one's going to be a full length or 2. So Thayer has become stagnant offensively. They haven't scored in over 3 minutes. Still have the lead, though. 3:42 to go in the first half at the girls basketball showcase in Kearney. Thayer Central 14, Alma 12.
Other companies have the revolving door. Every time we come into Schaefer's, it's always the same people. And the big thing to me is they know you by name. They know who you are, which makes a person like myself feel just warm and welcome here. And that's what's great about Schaefer's.
Schaefer's has the essential Whirlpool appliances you need, from refrigerators and air fry ranges to laundry pairs to keep your clothes clean and sanitized at everyday low prices. At Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
Back to basketball action. Alma with the ball, but down by 2. And we're going to be called for a walk with no contact over here on the Cardinals. So not quite the scoring we saw in game number 1 by a long ways. Todd, these 26 points is what Arapahoe put up in the first quarter by themselves, but I think at any time, kind of like we saw in the second half of that game, we're going to see an explosion of points once they can get into transition and get up and down the floor. We're going to see a three-pointer drop. We're going to see some press. We're going to see some layups.
I think it's been a little bit of a combination of the good old cold shooting in the morning and then some good defense on top of it.
All right, there's the steal, and coming in more will tie the ball game on the 8th turnover for Thayer Central. 6 in a row there by Alma, and they have tied the game at 14, and this Thayer Central drought continues here midway through the second quarter. The pressure gets even tighter. Marsh with it. Off the screen, gets it to Teachin. Got to get her going. Step back jumper from the free throw line. Might have got a hand on it there, did Kinley Ford, and it falls into the hands of Kirsten Moore. Alma now looking for their first lead of the game. Pick and roll and a foul after the turnover. Yeah. The ball got tipped, so it came up short, and Piper Havel comes away with a nice steal. Foul will be called on Kirsten Moore. That is her first and the first of the quarter. Don't forget to stay with us here at halftime. Our halftime show brought to you by RMV Construction, trusted, local, proven. RMV Construction located in Kearney and Lincoln. We'll talk about the day and have some special folks that are going to be honored here during this game. A shot missed, but an offensive rebound. Addison Marsh will go to the line and shoot 2. Foul called on Camry Neal.
See there on the replay, nice job following her shot. Offensive putback, draw the foul, step to the line.
And the free throw is good. 5 of 6 already at the line here for Thayer Central, and that will snap a 4-minute drought for the Titans. Second free throw short, and Moore will grab her 4th rebound as Alma continues to do well on the boards. Thayer Central made it to the state volleyball tournament this year. They were 27-5, but got knocked out of the first round by Freeman. So, yes, you have heard some of these girls' names before as Moore drives and draws the blocking foul. Can't finish through contact, but will get 2.
Kirsten Moore's fun to watch. She's really active, both ends of the floor. Her presence is felt.
She's just one of those kids we were talking about earlier. Maybe this will be her day to be above average on some things. It's not always, we talk about points and rebounds, but there's steals, there's assists, there's blocks. There's Bob Jensen in the crowd. What? What do we got going on? Bob Jensen sitting down in the front row. Is he reading the paper? He should be. Second free throw is good by Moore. And that'll make it 15-15 here in the second quarter of play. A little bit lower scoring, and what we thought would be higher scoring for what these two teams have been able to put up. But as you mentioned, Todd, Alma's defense keeping teams in the 20s. And they are really, really getting all over Paige Teachin. Here's a three-pointer out of the left wing, and there it goes for Leah Havel. She now has 6. That'll be the third 3 of the ball game for Thayer Central, and they regain the lead, 18-15. Give and go at the other end. Now on the floor, we're going to get a jump ball. The arrow points the way of Thayer Central. So the Titans bucket, stop, go get the ball again. Maybe the last 2 minutes of the quarter will belong to them.
Leah Havel, that last 3 for Thayer Central. Leah's a 6-foot sophomore, so nice job popping out, catching, and hitting a 3. You don't see a lot of 6-footers doing that.
And here comes Teachin out of control, but she gets fouled. Two-hand, underhand. That's not the shot that you work on a lot, but going to get fouled here by Scott. That'll be her second. And Teachin, who made a couple of free throws early, will go to the line. And the first one going to bounce off, no good. Dug Guda, Todd Gatula our producer engineer, Danny Alvarado. We've got the whole NCN crew here, Brandon Axelman with our sideline duties. And thanks again to all of the camera crew and behind-the-scenes folks for the work they're putting in all day today. Second free throw is good for Paige Teachin. And the lead back to 4, 19-15. Alma went on a 6-0 run to tie it at 14. Now Thayer building the lead back up to 4. Ford wanted to run a little pick and roll there. Ball got knocked out of her hand. She gets it back. Top of the key, Moore. Moore gives it off on the right wing for Abby Poole, who's in for the first time. And then her pass is going to be picked off. Turnover, Alma. And an uncontested layup here for Addison Marsh, who has 6 points all in this quarter. And now a 6-0 run by Thayer Central to equal their largest lead.
Marsh creating her own offense. Got a hand on it. Steele took it the other way.
Epps coming to the baseline and too much hand on the back that time. Again, didn't really affect anything, but want to make sure they keep the hands off. Foul going to be called on Brueggemann. That'll be her second. But the big deal now is that's the 15th foul, so some free throws coming up here for the Cardinals. And at the line will be Epp, and the free throw won't go. Again, coming up here at the half, they're going to have another honoree here, their alumni player of the year, as the second free throw is up and in. And Lauren Teachin, who did such a great job all the way back in her time at Byron. So, yes, the Teachin name, one that still is in Thayer Central. Laura had 57 points against Ohio. That stayed as the state record for 12 years. Rebound brought down by Moore, her fifth. 3-second differential between the shot and the game clock. Epp tries baseline, wants to kick, does on the wing to Poole, back to her. Looking for Ford, but she hasn't been much of the equation here. On a nice pick and roll, but the layup is too strong, no good. Following her shot, though, is Neal. 7 boards out to Ford, open 3, and it still won't go, and we've got an over-the-back foul called here on Moore. That'll be her second. Havel with position down low. That is the 4th team foul, so we won't have free throws. 14 seconds to go in the quarter, and a chance to give Thayer Central their biggest lead of the ball game if they can knock down a jumper here. They'll put it in Paige Teachin's hands, see if she can get a shot or if it's drive and dish. Looking for a screen, comes into the double team, forces the shot up. Good defense, shot no good. Rebound brought down by Ford, and that'll take us to halftime in a game of many runs. It's the 10-1 Thayer Central Titans leading the 10-1 Alma Cardinals at the half, 21-16. This is the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase here on News Channel Nebraska.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
From the heart of Nebraska to across the state, RMV Construction is building more than just structures. We're building trust. RMV Construction has grown from humble beginnings to become a trusted name across central Nebraska and beyond. With unmatched craftsmanship, cutting-edge innovation, and an unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction, we deliver projects on time, on budget, and above expectations. Trusted, local, proven. RMV Construction in Kearney and Lincoln. Let's build your vision together. NCN Sports is brought to you by Buffalo County Fair. Save the date, July 22nd through the 27th for the Buffalo County Fair in Kearney. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people that we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
And welcome back to Kearney High School for our halftime, brought to you by RMV Construction. Local, trusted, proven, and right now you are seeing event organizer Kelly Cooksley ready to make a special presentation to a alumni player. It's one of the cool things that they do, a girls basketball player and then a girls basketball coach, which will be Tom Taverdi, Gothenburg, Seward, Omaha, Marion, and he'll be honored in the last game tonight. But because she went to Byron High School, and that's where Thayer Central is, and we were talking about it earlier, this is Laura Teachin, class of 1976. In the early days of girls athletic, Teachin dominated. She was a 4-year starter in volleyball and basketball, made her mark early, scoring 30 points in her first basketball game as a freshman. Throughout her career, she had multiple games of 40, twice scoring 49, twice breaking the 50-point barrier. And as we said, her 57 points against Ohio stood as the Nebraska single-game scoring record for the next 12 years. In her senior season, Teachin led Byron to a record of 14-0. She averaged 38 points and 15 rebounds per game. An all-class, all-state selection. She went on to play at the University of Nebraska, set a single-game record going 14 of 14 at the free throw line, and a single-season record shooting 86% at the line. Professionally, she served as a coach and teacher at Columbus High School and at the University of Nebraska Kearney. She entered into athletics administration at UNK, and in 1988 became only one of 19 female athletic directors in Division I when she went to the University of Evansville. Laura Teachin, that is so awesome to see her able to come back and be a part of today's festivities. 57 points. You ever score 57 points in a pickup game even?
Maybe in the driveway one afternoon.
It was a long day in the driveway. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at where our teams are from. Thayer Central leading this one over Alma by a score of 21-16. As these are the 16 teams playing today, you can see Alma and Thayer Central both in the southernmost counties of Nebraska, with a little Kansas listening there as well. But neither one all that far away. Alma, like we said, about an hour drive, pretty much straight south of Kearney through Holdridge, and Thayer Central south of York, Hebron. Maybe just a little bit farther to make the trek up here to Kearney. And another good thing is it's a pretty nice day when it comes to the weather, so everybody able to make the travel a little bit easier. Looks like this halftime game's a little more up your alley, Todd. Putting the golf ball. We were shooting hockey pucks in the first game, but not here in the second game. We're going to putt the golf ball.
Could lip one of those out for sure.
And again, when you're coming in today, you're going to see some really cool team photos in your programs, and also going to get to see what these teams are all about. Halftime score, again, is 21-16 in favor of Thayer Central. And we are going to take a look at the Alma Cardinals. There they are, as we said, went to state last year, trying to do some things again this year that'll get them to state. A good start for both of these teams at 10-1, but the Cardinals there in their home gym, sporting the red and white. And both these teams, and again with the kind of the new regionalization, instead of just having 4 or 5 teams, you got to get through something different. And there's no guarantees. We've seen that in volleyball. Some of them might have a region with 6 of the 7 of the top 10 teams, and there are the Titans of Thayer Central in their home gym with Coach Kowalski there on the right. So those are your photos. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats here at the first half. First off for Alma, Cameron Scott has 4 points and a rebound and a block shot. Kinley Ford averages 21 a game. They have held her to 2. She has 2 rebounds and a block shot. Kirsten Moore, 3 points, 5 rebounds. Camry Neal, 4 points, 7 rebounds. Vaden Epp has 3 points. 8 points in the first quarter, 7 in the second, for a total of 15 points here in the first half. They've done a pretty good job on the boards with 15 rebounds, but they are 0 of 9 from three-point land, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, and they do have 8 turnovers. For Thayer Central, they also have 8 turnovers. They had 9 points in the first quarter, 12 in the second. 21 points. Addison Marsh, 6 points, a couple of rebounds. Paige Teachin, 6 points and 2 rebounds. Olivia Weedle has a couple of rebounds, but she's guarding Ford. That should be the big stat that we have right now. She's held her to 2 points. Leah Havel has 6 points and 3 rebounds. Ava Brueggemann a rebound. Piper Havel, 3 points and 4 rebounds in the basketball game. 14 rebounds. They are 6 of 9 at the free throw line, 3 of 7 from three-point land. And that is your score at halftime, 21-16. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights here of the first half of our basketball game. There have been some good matchups, some good shots, some good passing of the basketball, and a couple of threes. Teachin got the whole thing started with a 3 to start the basketball game, but wide open. Camry Neal flashing down the lane on the inbounds play to get her only field goal. And here's the only points of the game for Ford off the steal and transition. Flips it over the front of the rim in the first quarter of play. That didn't stop there as we see Cameron Scott getting into the action. Ford may not be scoring, but she's dishing. And Scott will get the layup off the Ford assist. And a spot-up 3 as we get into the second quarter with Addison Marsh from downtown. Our highlights brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island locations. Sartor Heyman Jewelers. As we see things finish off, a little defensive contact there. And the steal made by Kirsten Moore. She'll go in for her only bucket of the first half. And to finish things off, how about a three-pointer on the way from Ava Brueggemann? I believe I credited that to Havel, didn't I? So Brueggemann has the three-pointer. Havel has 3 points. And that gets us to our halftime score of 21-16. We'll be ready for the second half. This is game 2 of 8 of the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase. And we'll be back in a moment on NCN.
The halftime show is brought to you by RMV Construction, trusted, local, proven RMV Construction, and by Riverstone Bank, strong roots, local people, powerful capabilities.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Wolf Auto with locations in Ogallala, Imperial, and Alliance, and by T&K Tire in Ogallala, locally owned and operated.
Our halftime show is brought to you by RMV Construction. If you have a construction project that needs built, RMV Construction is the company you need to call. Tonight we're featuring the Nebraska Department of Transportation's brand new regional maintenance facility built by RMV. The Nebraska Department of Transportation has trusted RMV Construction to build projects across the state in Kearney, Burwell, and McCook. From large facilities, offices, and building maintenance for the Nebraska Department of Transportation to projects that fit your needs, RMV Construction combines experience, reliability, and local pride to get the job done right. Kearney and Lincoln, RMV Constructions. Let's get our third quarter underway. Alma's going to get a shot, try to get Ford going. It's no good, but the offensive putback still won't go. And coming out of there with it will be Weedle off the Neal miss. So Alma not able to get things going their way to start the third quarter, and let's see if the Titans can extend the biggest lead of the ball game. Driving in, Weechin can't get it done, lost the handle, and Thayer Central with the turnover. Moore pushes it up the floor and kicks it back out here to Ford. Very important to get her going, don't you think, Todd, obviously?
Yeah, they're really trying to get her freed up. She's got some nice shots and open looks. Just can't seem to get it knocked down. Usually when that's happening, maybe try to get to the rim a couple times and then get back out for those jumpers.
And another turnover by Thayer Central. Just not a lot of transition given right back here by Alma. So the teams exchange turnovers.
This game's been a little interesting in terms of game flow. Like, there's been moments where there's some nice flow to the game and others where it's just been a little choppy and neither team really quite able to establish themselves.
who will get the momentum going in their way to start the second half. Three-pointer too strong there for Madison Marsh. And out of bounds. So it'll come back to Alma. Coming across the timeline, Ford. 21-16. Good crossover. Ford steps underneath. They're going to look for a three in the corner from Epp, and it is off the heel. Boy, you got to make one eventually, don't you? I mean, you don't have to, but because I've seen some rough shooting nights already this year. And the foul going to be called on Weedle. That'll be the second on Olivia. Again, her job tonight is to play good defense, and she's done it so far. Inbounds pass, Cardinal shot no good, and the rebound tipped out here to Piper Hobble. She's got 5. 90 seconds in, the score remains 21-16 in favor of Thayer Central. They have led the entire way. Their biggest lead has been 6 on a couple of occasions. Teaching against Moore, zoning it up here for Alma. So they've changed that up a little bit defensively, Todd, and moved Ford off of Teachin, and the shot is up too strong. Rebound brought down by Neal. Sometimes you go a whole half and you're never that wide open, and then you are, and there goes the adrenaline and throws it right over the rim. Little Annie over. So the defensive adjustments at halftime are outweighing the offensive adjustments. Ford still can't get away from Weedle. Kicks it out for the three-pointer. It is just not going to go. Get the can opener out. Rebound brought down by Epp. 0 for 11 from beyond the arc right now for Alma. So Ford drives, and we're going to get a foul called here. Going to be on the side. And our third quarter brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of pain, not just the symptoms. And the foul going to be called here as we will welcome in to the booth the honoree of our Alumni of the Year, Laura Teachin, as we get another three-pointer that won't go in the hoop here for Alma. Long rebound comes out. Doug Duda from NCN. Laura, congratulations on the award, and thanks for coming here and being part of the event today.
Really appreciate it. It's a great honor to be here and see some great basketball.
This three-point line stuff, if you'd have had that, it'd have been more than 57 against Ohio.
I think it would have been. I shot from outside quite a bit, but it's great with the smaller ball for the women. And then, the three-point lines made a big difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've become used to it, those of us that are a little bit older, of all the things that we played with and what the girls had. But, yeah, the smaller ball, the three-point line, the shot clock now all involved. And the early days of just getting a chance to play girls basketball, I laughed on the air, 14-0. Now they play 30 games. How hard was it just to be able to do what you did do?
Well, I just really have to hand it to my small community of Byron, Nebraska, that in 1972, Title IX was passed. And then that summer, my school decided to sponsor girls' sports. And there were only 3 other teams that had the sport. So we only had 4 games that first year. I think we had 8 the next year. So, again, just the opportunity to play. Smaller schools were way ahead of the larger schools. Class A started much later. So, as small-town girls, it was a good thing to be from a small town.
We're talking with Laura Teachin here at the girls basketball showcase. How many girls were on that first team for you at Byron?
We actually had a really good group. We had about 14 girls that went out for the sport, and again, really a lot of athletic players, and I was just fortunate to be on a really good team.
What was postseason like, maybe your junior or senior year when you guys went 14-0? What was it like to play the postseason? How many games did you have, and who did you play?
Here was the kicker is that I graduated in 76, and they started the state tournament in 77.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But again, just really thrilled to see how women's sports have progressed and the great athletes and coaches that we have now and the fans. It's awesome to see where women's sports have gone.
You scored 30 points the first time you played a varsity basketball game. Let's be honest, some girls had that opportunity to be good, and others were trying to kind of fill in the starting lineup. What was the level of competition like around the area when you played?
Well, again, people were just learning how to play, but my coach was smart. He had a lot of girls with athletic ability, so we pressed the whole game. and we fast broke.
Your coach wasn't Russ Ninemeyer.
No, but it was great. It was fun to watch. It was fun to play. And actually, in that first game, I could have fouled out earlier, but I actually fouled out in the third quarter.
Oh man!
It's pretty rough back then.
Well, we're going to have a timeout on the court here. We'll talk with Laura for just another second, then we'll get her back to enjoying the morning and afternoon here. What about this journey you have had ever since you were one of the few athletic directors in Division I? You spent a little time here in Kearney at UNK. What do you remember about that?
Great times. That was so great for me to see two of my former athletes down here, that still remember me. So, Kearney was a fantastic experience. We had a great team here as well. Went to nationals and fortunate, and then went on to University of Evansville and got to be involved in some Missouri Valley Conference action, which was great. And then 19 years at Kansas State. So just seeing the progress of women's athletics has been tremendous. And the coaching, like I said, has improved so much. And the athletic play of teams has just been fun to watch.
Well, let me ask you, as one of the pioneers here, we are hoping that women's sports athletics treatment has all caught up. I know financially probably is the big spot. Is it close in your eyes?
I think at the Division I level, there's a lot there in terms of equity. I mean, we drove our own vans. We were in station wagons, and now they definitely have a lot better. But yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along.
Well, Laura, thanks for giving us a little time here on News Channel Nebraska. We'll let you get back to enjoying the ball game. Congratulations on the honor and for everything that you've done for the women's sports.
Well, and I really want to thank you guys for broadcasting this and giving these girls a spotlight that they really deserve. So thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks, Laura. Laura Teachin joining us here on NCN. We appreciate it as they are watching Thayer Central play a little basketball here and leading at 25-19. We get a steal by Ford and a turnover by Thayer Central. She will be fouled, and we'll give the basketball. I just talked to another legend. Literally, I just talked to another legend. People may not know Laura Teachin from a town that probably had a hard time with the post office back in the day, but Byron, Nebraska, one of the starts, Chester down there with 6-man. Now they got Laura with basketball, and man, they've got some, like she said, little towns were ahead because they were a little bit more eager and able to push some of these sporting events.
She really is, and that's what's fun about these events too. They also like this, a lot of basketball people in the room, in the gym, and a lot of old connections, new connections, old friendships and new ones rekindled over hoops, and it's always a fun day to see all the different faces in the arena.
Well, we didn't get a whole lot of scoring there while we were talking, as the shot's going to be blocked by Addison Marsh, but we did get a three-pointer from Paige Teachin, and it's starting to get a little more physical out there. Alma fans didn't like that call. I think it was off of Kinley, but there may have been a little contact to help her out there. Oh, well, I guess not. It is going to be Alma basketball. I thought that they had pointed the other way, so my bad. Alma fans reacted like they weren't getting the basketball. Here's a three on the way. Scott won't go. Rebound brought down underneath by Piper Havel. 25-19. This game's been moving right along, but boy, nowhere near the scoring we thought we would see, and I've mentioned that a couple of times. Teachin gets free. She's got a chance to take this one inside, gets spun around. Circus shot won't go. Ball gets batted around, and Paige gets it back here. 4 points in the quarter for Thayer Central. 4 points in the quarter for Alma. And a hand check foul on Epp. And that'll be her second personal foul.
Feel the intense knee coming up, rising up just a little bit.
Into the ball game again will be Abby Poole. A little bit like what we saw in the first game. Not a deep bench on either side as far as putting girls in. And that's what you're going to see. This is a postseason type of atmosphere. Ball inside. Good move by Havel. Havel now with 6 in the basketball game. Off the spin and score. 27-19. That's the largest lead of the game for Thayer Central. 8 points, pick and roll. It's underthrown. It wasn't there, but it is touched. And Leah Havel says, I didn't touch it. The pass was just that far off the mark. I didn't touch it.
Nice replay. Look at it right there.
Nobody touched it right there at the very end. And Havel might have been right. Inbounds pass. Gets it up top. Neal starts to drive. But the Titans are packing it in. They're a little bit taller in there. So that has given them some problem as well. A minute to go here in the third quarter. Ford still back up. Foul. So maybe something from the line here for Kinley Ford.
Boy, nice move there. You can see she's got the ability off the dribble just to stop and pop real quick. Quick release, come up short and draw the foul.
We can talk about all the other things that are going on, but the story right now is the defense of Olivia Weedle, and they've changed it up. They've gotten a little bit out of the man, but the free throw no good. Ford, averaging 21 points a game, has 2. And there's no way she's getting to 21 when your team has 19. So we'll see what lies ahead in this fourth quarter, but Alma's got to get something going here, and the free throw is good by Ford. 27-20. Fast break, almost a turnover there into the ball game is Addie Weedle. Ball gets knocked away. Again, the second of 8 games. The third game coming up, Cross County and Oakland Craig a little bit after noon. We'll turn it over to Eric McKay and the gang for those ball games. Right now, though, the Titans, a 3-ball here makes it a 10-point game, and that would seem like 25 with the few amount of points as they spread the floor. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Telegraph the pass, stolen away by Neal. That's 5 turnovers in the quarter. Here comes Ford, dishes it off to Moore. Short-armed it and hit the rim. Hopple with the rebound. A chance at the last shot here for the Titans as they'll reach midcourt at the 10-second mark. But Teachin picked up her dribble. Ford comes in and ties her up. And the arrow will still point the way at Thayer Central. You may not think that's a big thing, but now Alma gets the ball to start the fourth quarter. You can get over, you can set up a play, and hopefully whoever you are, if you're Thayer or Alma, you can kind of set things up and get a layup or get a short jumper. And the ball is Alma's. They steal it away. They're going to get a 3 here just before the horn, and it is good for Camry Neal. And there you go. A little bit of mo despite a low-scoring quarter, and that'll get the crowd going a little bit. It's Thayer Central 27 and Alma 23 on the three-pointer for Camry Neal, who now has 7 points for the Alma Cardinals. There's the setup. There's the 3 off the steal, and we got ourselves a ball game at the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase on NCN.
The race is on, and Speedy Mart at 5018 South Lincoln Avenue in York is your pit stop for victory. With 12 gas pumps, plus diesel and DEF for semis, showers and laundry for the public, and a new sales floor packed with more snacks than ever, we'll keep you fueled and fresh. Hungry? Grab a slice at our Valentino's Express Pizza. Cross the finish line with a smile, because at Speedy Mart, every stop takes first place.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Hebron Central Market, your locally owned grocery store in Hebron, a proud supporter of the Titans. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
Doug Duda-Gatula back with you here to start the fourth quarter of play. Thayer Central had a chance to go up 9 or 10. Now Alma has cut it to 4, and they get the ball to start the fourth quarter of play here from Kearney High School in the 2026 Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase. Ford going to take the jump shot, crawling over the rim, and it still won't go. The ball deflected out of bounds off the hands of Camry Neal. Ford just can't get it to go, facing the toughest defensive pressure maybe all year. Obviously, Holdridge put some good stuff on them because that's a really good basketball team. So, again, we'll run down the leading scorer is Paige Teachin, and we get a violation on another travel here. But it's pretty balanced, 9-6-6 for Thayer Central, but they have 14 turnovers to Alma's 10. Camry Neal, 7 points, and Ep 6 for Alma. 3-point shooting, 3 of 9 for Thayer Central, 2 of 15 for Alma. They rely on that a little bit more without such a big post presence down there. Thayer has able to give him that inbounds pass to Neal. Gets deflected away. Up top, Epp, stutter dribble. Works on Havel, stays with her, and Piper blocks the shot out of bounds. All right, Alma underneath their home. Good ball fake. Neal drives in and scores. Excellent ball fake by Camry Neal. She's got 9, and she could be up for our player of the game consideration. Brought to you by Nebraska Orthopedic Center, your healing destination. Nebraska Orthopedic, we'll be talking about that at the end of the basketball game. Titans with the ball, 27-25 though. It's a 2-point contest and turnover at Thayer Central. Momentum shift right here for the Alma Cardinals.
Back to Camry Neal on that. Hits the 3 to end the quarter. Quick 2 there, so she's got 5 quick points, giving Alma a little momentum here.
Again, both teams coming in 10-1. Here is going to be the drive and foul. Cameron Scott going to go to the line. She had a couple of buckets in the first quarter, but hasn't had anything since then. And the foul going to be called on Addison Marsh. That'll be her second. First foul here of the fourth quarter.
I'm a real aggressive here the last few minutes, trying to get to the rim, not settling for those threes and jumpers, trying to maybe force the issue a little bit in a good way.
Well, free throw shooting, 6 of 10 coming into the quarter is what I had for Alma, 7 of 11 for Thayer Central, and 1 of 2 for Cameron Scott. 27-26, your score. Up next for Thayer Central, they will be home against Wilber-Clatonia on Tuesday, then on the road for 3 straight. Havel's runner is no good. Rebound tipped out to Kinley Ford. They will go to Sutton, Sandy Creek, Cross County. I'll tell you, we talked about some weak schedules coming up for the first 2 teams. That's not the case for Thayer Central. Holy moly. Alma for the lead. No, Neal gets it back. Blocked out of there by Piper Havel, and she's able to run down the loose basketball. Continuing on with Thayer Central, then Tri-County. So after Wilbur, they will play 4 straight games, 3 on the road. 3 of those teams are state-rated out of the next 4 after Wilber-Clatonia. And, of course, what they're getting here from Alma. Some have Alma rated, some don't at this point in the season. A win today would probably change that. Thayer trying to be patient here, and an errant pass. Out of bounds it goes. And both coaches probably wondering, where has my offense gone? Thayer coming in, scoring 57 a game. Alma coming in, scoring 61 a game. Shot no good from the outside. Looking for the loose ball. We're going to get a jump ball down low. On the ground will be Neal and Marsh. That knee brace on. Got some wrestling later today. That was a good reversal for 2. 5:40 remaining in the game. Some pressure. Throw it to the big tall gal, Piper Havel. She'll go up and grab it, but then turned over again by Thayer. Alma up ahead. Ford blows the layup up there too strong, and the rebound comes down to Teachin. So you're just seeing errors that you haven't seen from both of these teams in the first month of the season, Todd. Really trying to get some aggressiveness, and a 10-second count. Another turnover here on Thayer Central. Thayer is down to 2 timeouts remaining, and now they're going to be down to 1 timeout. They're Alma outlasting them because Alma has all their timeouts, and they're going to be comfortable with what they have at the moment as they're on a 6-0 run. Your score is Thayer Central 27, Alma 26. 5:16 to go in the game on News Channel Nebraska Television.
First, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding band, so we'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
Again, thanks again to Laura Teachin for joining us here. Last year it was Jade Meads-Brown from Elm Creek. The first 2 years were Mortice Ivy, Omaha Central, Jordan Hooper from Alliance. I'll tell you what, that's quite a crew to start off this award. Out of the timeout, the three-pointer in the corner going to be partially blocked and grabbed there on the loose ball by Camry Neal. She's into double digits when it comes to rebounding, and she's about there offensively. She's going for the double-double. But Alma still trails, trying to change it. Forward it will not go. And the rebound brought down by Piper Hobble. I have Alma 2 of 18 now from three-point land. But the Titans got to get it going. They've been on 27 forever. Obviously haven't scored here in the fourth quarter. Weedle gets it over to Marsh. Haven't been able to drive and score. Lob it down to the baseline for Leah Hobble. Out top, how about a three-pointer? No for Teachin, and the rebound comes down to Cameron Scott. 3 of 10 from long range is what I have right now for the Titans of Thayer Central. Ford still trying to get involved, gets it into Neal, has it blocked out of there. Hobble, that's her third block of the quarter. Loose ball. Alma dives on it. They'll give him credit for the timeout. 7 boards for Kirsten Moore, and a timeout called here by Alma. 4:18 remaining in the ball game. 27-26 Thayer Central trying to hold on NCN.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill-up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
All right, Alma's been knocking on the door. Can they finally knock it down? Ford to throw it in here, down by 1. Into the corner to Scott. Turn around, no good. And the rebound brought down by Paige Teachin. Well, Alma's had their chances, Todd. Thayer Central's now got to make them pay. They got to start getting buckets, and right away they will. Lob it down to Brueggemann with her second bucket of the ball game. It took 4 minutes, but Thayer Central never lost the lead, at least to this point in the fourth quarter. So Alma with the basketball. Again, the 3 will still tie it, but that's as hard right now as iron for these kids. But here it is, and it will not go for Epp. Rebound brought down again by Olivia Weedle. And I guess that might be what it comes down to. If Alma makes a 3, that might be the key to winning the game. Block and foul going to be called here on Kirsten Moore. That'll be her third.
It's a little coach speak, but when shots aren't falling, you got to try to get it done, on the other end defensively and create some opportunities there. And Alma's still grinding and really getting after on defense, just trying to squeeze some points out of this thing.
All right, Thayer Central looking for back-to-back possessions with points. Off the curl screen, Teachin. Step back, still with the dribble, double-teamed. Now gets rid of it. Out on the wing, they'll go to Brueggemann and reset it up top to Weedle. 15 on the shot clock. Weedle starts to drive, still underneath. Shot blocked, but a foul. They're going to go body. Going to give Ford credit for blocking the shot, but they're going to say he gave her a little bit too much with the body. And that'll be her second foul of the basketball game. Don't forget the NCN post game coming up. Brought to you by Custom Sports. We'll have our player of the game and winning coach interview. Free throw is up. And really, with the score what it is right now, Todd, that decision may still be up in the air. Definitely is for the coach. Second for Olivia Weedle. And it's no good. Rebound going to be tipped out to Cameron Scott. Again, Usually we make the decision on the player of the game, but the showcase makes the decision on the player of the game. It's Olivia Weedle. I don't care if they win or not. She's the defensive player of the game. Here's the three knocked down by Cameron Scott. Timeout, Alma, after the made three-pointer, 3 of 20. But that is going to tie this basketball game up at 29. What a shot. Finally, something falls, and Cameron Scott will knock it down. Our instant replay brought to you by our friends at Meade Lumber, making you feel at home from design to finish. And on our Aurora Cooperative scoreboard, it's all knotted up at 29. Aurora Cooperative, helping you add value to every aspect of your operation. Check them out at auroracoop.com. We take you down the stretch next on NCN.
This broadcast is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports. NCN Sports is brought to you by Memorial Community Hospital and Health System. Proudly supports the Fort Calhoun Pioneers. We're on your team providing quality care close to home. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
All right, Todd, what's going to be the key here over these final 3 minutes to see who scratches this one out?
Well, you know, I think just Alma trying to find a way to score, and Thayer Central just kind of keep doing what you're doing, keep the pressure on Kinley Ford and others. And we haven't probably talked enough, even though we mentioned a few times Olivia Weedle's defensive pressure tonight on behalf of Thayer Central Garden. Alma's leading scorer and one of the top scorers in the state for that matter, and Kinley Ford holding her to just 3 points so far.
And a little bump foul called here at half court, trying to take away what they have and run them out of real estate. But a little bump, and that'll be foul number 4 of the ball game on Epp. That'll be the 3rd foul of the quarter. And Thayer Central Weedle to throw it in. Tied at 29. Thayer Central only 2 points here in the quarter. And they went on a drought at the end of the quarter, and there's a steal. That's almost an intentional foul. That's almost. I'm glad they didn't call it, but that's where you see an intentional foul. You lose the ball, you fall down, you grab somebody to prevent them from making the layup. And another steal. Foul by Brueggemann is her 3rd.
Nice defensive play there by Vaden Epp for Alma to get her hand on it, get a touch, and nearly a breakaway layup.
The turnovers, though, for Thayer Central, and I only have Alma for 2 in the second half. I mean, Thayer Central has 11, and one of the reasons you can't score is even if you don't have the ball. Ford puts on a dribbling exhibition. Step back finally. Kinley Ford, that's only her 2nd bucket of the ball game, and Alma takes the lead for the first time here this morning, 31-29, and another Thayer turnover. They only have 1 timeout remaining, remember. Now Alma can milk a little clock. All of a sudden you score here, and we're down to about 90 seconds to go in the game. On the right wing with it will be Scott. Back up top, see if they just put it in Ford's hands here. Epp back off to Moore. Moore to the left elbow, spins into the paint, double teamed, into the corner. Epp for 3, and it's in and out, no good. And the rebound taken away. Ford sneaks in there, gets another steal after the rebound was made by Havel. And now they can work some more clock. So Alma right now kind of in control. They've got the timeout advantage. If there's a jump, they get the ball. But there, they dribble it off their leg, and we're going to get a jump. So Alma will keep possession here with 1:36 to go in the game. Well, now the officials are getting together. Did we have a jump or did we have a foul? And it looks like they are going to go with a jump ball. I told you we had swimmers in the building today. They're all over the place. Kearney High having their big swim invite today. And we are at Kearney High for the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase. Epp with the basketball on the left wing. Just had a 3 go all the way down and out. 12 on the shot clock. Weedle all over Ford. Back up top, Moore. There's Ford. WNBA 3, and it's no good. Crashing to the board. We're going to have another scramble on the ground. That's going to end up being a jump. Alma wanted to get a timeout, but we're going to get a jump ball, and it will point the way at Thayer Central as Havel is tied up with Epp. 1:17 to go. How can Thayer find a way to score? And Alma will call the timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, and they're in pretty good shape here, just using their second timeout of the ball game. 1:17 remaining in the contest. Alma, for the first time, has the lead. They are on an 11-2 run, 31-29. We're going to keep it here as we get closer to our third game of the day. 8 games in all. Oakland, Craig, and Cross County next. Then at 1:50, Class A Millard North against C2 Pender, the defending D1 champion. The second half today. Fort Calhoun and Broken Bow at 3:30. Ogallala Milford at 5:10. Central City Malcolm at 6:50. Kearney Gothenburg at 8:30. And that's if none of those games go overtime. And we have a potential of that happening right here.
You're not on the next broadcast. You can say that.
The day not over. The day not over. But some of the teams for the next game starting to hit the tunnel here and watch the end of this one. Thayer Central down 2 with the ball. Alma will put on some token pressure. And Ford now back on Paige Teton defensively. Get it into the hands of Marsh. To Weedle. Can they get the ball down to the post to either Leah or Piper Havel? Nope, three-pointer. Paige Teachin off the iron, no good. Rebound run down by Alma, but Paige comes away and steals the basketball. Big steal, ball loose, picked up by Marsh. And a foul, reach-in foul on Alma. They grab the rebound, but both teams have had that happen here in the last minute where they grab the defensive rebound and someone snuck in and knocked the ball away. That's the third foul on Ford.
Huge defensive play you see right there by Paige Teachin to just step in and get that steal, save a possession.
45 seconds to go. Alma by 2. Teachin backs her way in, looks for a screen behind the backboard, drive, scores. Paige Teachin ties the game with her 11th point of the basketball game. Alma will push it into the front court, and we will get a timeout. The shot clock and the game clock virtually the same, so Alma can hold for the last shot. They will have 2 timeouts remaining. 31 seconds to go. 31-31 here on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Well, do we have 31 seconds left, or do we have 4:31 left, or 8:31? This game is knotted at 31 with 31 seconds to go in the ball game. Thayer Central's Paige Teachin comes through, gets that drive to the bucket, and ties it up. But now Alma has the basketball with a chance to win the game.
Always like watching these team huddles. I was watching Alma there when coaches are shouting out about 10 different instructions based on all the different scenarios. And there was a lot of attention in the huddle and conversation with Kinley Ford, the freshman leading scorer for Alma. So we'll see here if they get it in her hands at the end of the game.
All right. She struggled to score the basketball with only 5 points. They want to get it in their hands, and they can't do it. There's Weedle again with great defense. Clock down to 20. Now they do get it to Ford. She's between the circles. A little 1-4 look. I would imagine we're going to see drive and dish. Let's see what happens. Into the hands of Scott. Scott back up to Ford. Maybe another timeout. Ford off the screen. It's going to be a 1-on-2. Ford. Oh, she got fouled. But remember, they have 2 fouls to give. That was the strategy for Thayer Central. As soon as Ford starts to make her move, foul her. Now, maybe not quite this hard. Addison Marsh with her 3rd personal foul. Ford was going one way. 4th foul. 3rd foul on Thayer. They can still give one away. And Alma going to call the timeout. So they want to reset their strategy here. Each team will have 1 timeout remaining. 4 seconds to go in the basketball game, and we are all knotted up. Nebraska trying to get to 16-0. They trail at the half against Indiana 39-30. So Indiana, kind of a tough spot here. There's no doubt about it. For Nebraska on the road, it's hard to win on the road in the conference. Creighton plays later today at home against St. John's with the Big Red down 39-30 at halftime. The women will host fourth-ranked UCLA tomorrow. UNK is at Emporia State today. Hastings College taking on Morningside out of the GPAC. Off the top of my head, I don't know the rest of the GPAC schedule today, but best of luck wherever you're watching us. Thanks for being a part of News Channel Nebraska Television. So again, Thayer Central, as soon as this ball gets in, they've got to grab Alma and get a foul. Don't foul them on a shot, but as soon as it gets in, you got to commit that foul so that they have to inbound it yet again, and maybe you run a second or a half a second at least off the clock. And we saw in some college games this week, half a second can be the difference between winning and losing.
Nice little drama here for game 2.
May not have been high scoring, but it's competitive. It will be Cameron Scott to throw it in. Top is Vadenep. Here we go, 4 seconds remaining. We're all tied up. Out to Ford. Ford ball fake. She's going to have an open jumper for the win. Yes! Alma wins the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase on Ford's third bucket of the basketball game. You knew it was going to be in her hands. Whether she shot it or not was up for debate. And just a good little screen and gets it to bounce off the front of the rim and in. Alma 33, Thayer Central 31. The Cardinals now 11-1, while the Titans go to 10-2. Thayer Central was held to 4 points over the last 11 minutes of this basketball game. They were up 27-20 with the ball, and Alma able to find a way to get the win here this afternoon. Another great basketball game. We've got interviews, highlights, and a whole lot more. Stay with us here on News Channel Nebraska Television.
Everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
From the heart of Nebraska.
Welcome back. Winning head coach Amanda Davis with Alma. Coach, a buzzer beater here in game 2 of the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase. Let's just talk about how are you feeling right now after those emotions?
Pretty good right now. That was a lot. We didn't shoot very well at all during this game. Told the girls like at halftime that when it matters, well, it'll go in. Keep shooting. We're taking good shots. It wasn't falling for us the first half.
13-4 run to end the game. You took your first lead at the 2:20 mark. How are you feeling, and what was said in the huddle drawing up that final play for the win?
We told them that we just wanted to keep possession of the ball, so we needed to waste time. They did a good job. We haven't been able to do that in past games, like we've tried to rush things, and so just being under control, taking our time, being patient, doing what we were asked to do. They did it, and good job. They finally hit.
Well, lastly, we're going to bring in Kearney next. How about the freshman? What does she offer? How proud of her are you?
You know, last year we ended up making it to state. We came off of a really good season. She's added so much to our team, taken some pressure off of some of the other girls, just allowing them to play more freely instead of having to control the ball all the time. She sees the floor really well. She looks for her teammates all the time. You know, she's just made a lot happen for us this year, and we're so excited to have her on the team.
Coach, thank you so much. We'll talk to her next.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, let's find Kearney Ford. All right. Our Nebraska Orthopedic Center player of the game, the freshman. Walk us through those final seconds.
Sorry, I'm not really good at this.
You're great. You're good at basketball. Tell us about how you played the basketball.
It's just the first few quarters, it was just rough. I couldn't get any fall, but my teammates supported me through it all. They encouraged me to keep shooting. So did my coaches. And I just knew when it came down to it, I had to do it.
Ball left your hands. What were you thinking as you were watching it bounce off the rim before it fell?
I was just praying. I was like, please go in, please go in. Then it didn't. I was just, I don't know. It's just crazy.
First game winner?
Yep.
Well, congratulations. A good stage to do it, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Kearney Ford, the game-winning shot for Alma as they get the victory 31-29. Doug, back up to you in the booth.
For Kearney Ford to knock that down. It was not her best day, and as a freshman, she's going to have a lot of these game-winning opportunities and a lot of interviews and opportunities, but going to be a learning process today as well. Went up against a really good, and by the way, Olivia Weedle was named the defensive player of the game. There is no doubt about it how good she played today defensively. That's why Ford struggled. You play that good at defense, sometimes your shot is not the shot that you usually have. You're off the mark. Weedle was awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to Ford for just hanging in there through a tough shooting night. When it's crunch time, you put the ball in your shooter's hands and let him make a play. And she found a way to get a nice shot off, got a little bit of a shooter's roll to get it to drop for the winner. So credit to her for sticking her head in there and just staying with it the whole game.
Our player of the game brought to you by Nebraska Orthopedic Center, your healing destination. A quick rundown of the stats for Thayer Central. Addison Marsh, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and a block. Olivia Weedle didn't score but had 4 boards. 11 points for Paige Teachin to lead the way. 5 boards. Leah Havel, 3 points, 7 rebounds. Ava Brueggemann, 5 points and a rebound. Piper Havel, 6 points, 7 boards, 3 blocks. 21 points in the first half, only 10 in the second half for the Titans. 31 points, 27 rebounds, 7 out of 11 at the free throw line, 3 of 11 from three-point land, 4 blocks, 21 turnovers. Thayer will host Wilbur Claytonia on Tuesday, then go to Sutton, Sandy Creek, and Cross County, all within a week between the 16th and the 22nd. They're 10-2. For Alma, Cameron Scott, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and a block. Ford held to 7 points, 3 rebounds, and a block. Kirsten Moore, 3 points, 7 rebounds. Great game for Camry Neal, 9 points, 12 boards, and Vaden Epp, 6 points, 3 rebounds. 15 points in the first half, 18 in the second. 33 points, 28 rebounds, 7 out of 12 at the free throw line, just 3 of 21 unofficially from three-point land, 2 blocks, 11 turnovers, only 3 in the second half, and Alma now improves to 11-1 on the season. As we get ready to take a look at a couple of the highlights from today's basketball game, the next game for Alma will be hosting Amherst on Tuesday night, another top 10 team, before they take on Highline, Hitchcock County, and down the road, Elm Creek, who had been number 1 for a little while before suffering a couple of losses. So Alma Thayer Central taking the floor, both with impressive 10-1 records coming into tonight after Alma's win last night down against Norton, Kansas. And to get things going here, it was Paige Teachin right away. Opening possession of the game, drained the left corner 3. Little did we know it would be her only field goal till late in the third quarter. Alma got on the board with a Cameron Scott layup, and it was 9-8. Thayer Central at the end of 1. Addison Marsh came in, had a really good second quarter, 6 points, half of them right there on a straightaway three-pointer, up 14-10, and one of the nicer plays of the day, Epp with her reverse layup, and then the nice steal here towards the end of the second quarter by Kirsten Moore, her only bucket of the ball game, and that happened to a lot of the kids today because it was such a low-scoring game, Todd. Then we look at the start of the comeback here. This is where it's 27-20. The ball stolen away. Kick it out for that three-pointer. Knocked down by Camry Neal. Cut it to 4, 27-23. And they didn't stop. Ford step back on the right corner. And that gave Alma their first lead of the game at 31-29. Coming back, Teachin able to tie things up with 37 seconds to go. Alma was able to work it down for the last shot. And there it is. Kinley Ford off the screen, a left elbow, front of the rim, rolls in. And that was the end of the basketball game. 33-31 for Alma to pick up the win. So we've got 2 games down, 6 more games to go. Coming up here in about 15 minutes, it'll be Oakland Craig against Cross County. The featured A versus C2 matchup, Millard North Pender later today. Fort Calhoun against Broken Bow, Milford against Ogallala, Malcolm against undefeated Central City, and then Kearney High, Class A, taking on one of the top teams in C1 in Gothenburg. Don't forget, you can follow us along on social media anywhere up and down the line. We're on YouTube, Facebook. Brandon's taking care of social media and X as well. It is the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase, and Todd Gatula, thanks for getting up early this morning and watching a couple of ball games with me.
Yeah, it was fun. Good one to watch there, and a bunch of exciting basketball ahead the rest of the day.
No doubt about it. We're going to turn it over to Eric and the gang. But again, thanks to our producer-engineer, Danny Alvarado, the man that makes it all happen, Brandon Axmit. And for Todd Gatula, I'm Doug Duda. The first game of the day, Arapahoe 69-49 over Mullen. And in game 2, at the buzzer, Alma wins it 33-31 over Thayer Central. Stay tuned. It's Cross County and Oakland Craig coming up next from the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase.